Hello, I am here today with my nephew. Now, I'm Uncle Jay, and this is
S.B. Williams.
Yes. And today we're having a discussion about this upcoming school year. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what are your expectations of learning this year?
Learn more science,
More science and
more math.
math. Okay. Now, when you gain these math and science skills, what is your objective of using them in the real world?
Um,
Could you think of any jobs that you would have to use that math and science and
uh,
some technology to do?
car dealerships because you might need to know how to work the buttons and stuff.
Okay, what buttons would be at the car dealership that you would need math and science?
Uh, Actually, I might have to think about that again.
Well, let me give you a hint. Now, as far as math and science, the production of cars, let's say the design,
Mhm.
the engineering, and the testing. Just say that you had a Lamborghini or Ferrari and you wanted to make it faster. You might have to figure out, well, what kind of mechanical design would make it faster? First of all, what would you have to do with the existing engine?
Uh, you would have to know how to take it out and put a faster one in.
Yes. Let me give you another hint. The initial thing you would have to do is test what you have
Mhm.
because you'd have to know the math and science about what you have.
Yeah.
So say if you're gonna have to get your rest too for school. So say if your engine was rated at 500 horsepower and you wanted to make it 600, what do you think would have to be done or added to it?
Um, you might need to take out the first engine and put a 61 in.
Well, a 600 one, you mean?
Yeah.
You got to know those numbers. Now, let's do this. What if to save money so that you don't waste, you had to use that same engine? You might have to change something with that engine, right? So, what do you think you could do just to add to the engine you have to make it faster?
You can put gas in it.
Well, you already have to put gas in it. Now, let me tell you something about the fuel. If you were to put race fuel in it,
Wait,
yes.
race and gas aren't the same thing.
Well, there's race fuel. Race fuel is gas that is for a higher compression. In other words, you'd have to have a specially designed engine for that.
Mm.
But let's let's say this. You had it at 500, you want it at 600. This is what we would do. You might add a turbo to it
Mm.
or maybe two. There are some cars with four turbos on it and different size turbos. But there's a lot of math, science, and engineering going into that. But guess what else you need
What?
for that?
English? Not English. Uh, reading?
Yes. So, because you can't just say, I'm going to use the company's money and do this. You have to develop everything. So, you have to do a lot of reading and research.
Mm-hmm.
And so, your comprehension skills, your reading skills, your English skills, because you're going to have to write some reports. And the other thing is, You not only have to know about engines, you have to know about the atmosphere
How?
because it makes a difference. Because the air intake into the engine determines the compression, and the compression is the gas and air ratio along with your oil and the mechanics of the engine to run faster and better and more efficient.
Did you mean radio?
No, 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 not necessarily radio. We're not. We're just speaking about the engine and making it faster. So in school, what do you think you need to do? Uh, you're gonna have to get that rest in school with that yawning. You're gonna have to get that together, man. Think about it. If you're in your English class reading and you're falling asleep while you're reading, what do you think you're going to be doing at that company when you fall asleep in the meeting? Do you think that they're going to want to build your engine?
No, don't want to get me fired.
You could. Now, if you have to write a report and your report is misleading, people can't understand what you're writing.
Yeah.
What do you think that they're going to do with your plans?
Throw it in the garbage.
Right, because your report cannot sound like Old Town Wrong. What is that?
Old Town Road.
You can't sound like that. See, I got to learn all of that. It can't sound like that.
Yeah.
It can't sound like any of these rap or hip hop songs. You have to write well. People have to be able to understand what you're saying, what you're writing, what your thoughts are in your report. And not only that, you have to know your report. You can't just stand in a meeting and just look down and read the whole report. You have to lift your head up and know your information.
Yep.
You have to be able to just speak it freely, right? And you can't sit there and yawn and roll your eyes and all of that. You have to get it together. And plus, one of the main things is remain teachable. You have to pay attention in class. So, do you think that you will be able to pay attention and listen in class and do what is needed? No?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me ask that again. Without you making faces, looking like a normal 8-year-old without making faces, do you think that you will be able to behave and understand and listen in your classes so that you can obtain the knowledge that you need to go further?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that your classmates will be a bad influence? Are you going to let them get you in trouble?
No.
Are you going to make a decision to do well and not do wrong?
Yes.
Because if the person next to you is doing wrong, that is them. That is their behavior. You want to get your grades. You want to go to your company and make that better engine for that Ferrari or Lamborghini, or it could be a Chevy.
Or it could be a Bugatti.
There you go.
Ram like you.
Dodge. Yes.
They have the same symbol.
Yes. But you need all of your school skills, learning, intelligence, comprehension, and behavior, all of that together to do and make whichever you choose to do, whether you just be a person to design engines, or maybe you are designing wheels, or maybe you're designing something totally different.
I think I'll do real estate.
Well, that's a whole different era. That's a whole different subject. But you still need all of those skills to do that. Because if somebody looks at your plans for the subdivision and say, how is this going to work? And you're yawning, they're going to be like, oh man, he's not even ready for this meeting. And he's looking up at the sky. He's looking all around but looking at the audience. they're going to say maybe we don't need to do this, because his attention span is poor. He likes to sit down and make faces. It's funny now, but it's not funny when you've already invested $1 million of your own money and it's down the drain because somebody says, we know you spent $1 million designing this, but we don't care because you can't stay awake. And you can't stop making faces. So you think this is funny. So let's not build his subdivision. And then you have spent $1 million on nothing but a piece of paper with one little plan and one little design. Now, as far as real estate development, how far do you think you'll make it in that business?
I don't know.
And talking like that and making those faces in those meetings will never get you there. It might get you a YouTube video. But if I was to do this and make faces and stuff like that, the people won't take me seriously. They're not going to watch my videos. They're going to think I'm just silly. Now, yes, you're just 8, and I know you like to play. But think about it. Hold your head up and not make a face. Just look normal, and maybe some people will take you seriously. But if all you can do is make monkey faces, you'll waste a lot of time because people will say, all he wants to do is laugh, play, and joke. Laugh, play, and joke. And then in class, in your behavior report says laugh, play, and joke. He's not serious about his work. He's tired. He's yawning. He's playing. He's listening to Joe Blow. All he has on his mind, it could be anybody. So it's things to think about. And we'll watch this again later on and see how you view yourself. Picking at your face or making faces or yawning and all this other stuff rather than paying attention to your audience. Okay? So this is just your pre-school year interview. And halfway down the line, maybe 9 weeks from now or something like that, we will do another video as an update. And we'll see how your behavior is. We'll get reports from your teacher. We'll get insight about if you're following through. Okay? All right, so this is interview for the beginning of this school year of 2019. And your name, sir?
S.V. Williams, or if you go to my school, you can call me Stephen.
And this is Uncle Jay on Big J3RD. And we shall see, because we can take these toys and put it up. Put that iPhone up.
No.
We can put that iPhone up. We can put that Nintendo up. We can put all that Lego up and everything.
Lego.
If you don't get it together.
I can't live without Lego.
Oh, we shall see. All right.
All right.